To start your paper project, put all of your paper in the correct pattern order. All of your paper should be about the same size. So my pattern is orange, purple, brown, orange, purple, brown, and all of my paper is in the same or is in the right order, and it's really important that you keep your pile in order while you work. So grab the first piece of your pattern and fold the paper in half. Fold it in half as best as you can. Then you're going to draw half of your shape. Mine is a heart, so when you draw the shape for the first time, you want to draw it really small, pretty much as small as you can manage to cut with scissors. Open it up, make sure you draw it on the crease also, so that when you cut it, it opens up as a whole shape. Very carefully cut out your shape and try not to disturb any other parts of the paper, because then when you open it up, you should have two pieces that are perfectly the same like this. Put that off to the side, and then take the second color in your pattern. It's going to start the same way, where you fold your paper in half. Then take your first piece that you cut and see the crease on this part of the paper and make your heart or whatever shape you have hug the crease, and you're going to pinch it there and line it up as best as possible. Next thing you're going to do is trace around that shape, but you don't want to trace right up next to the paper. Notice right here how there's a little bit of a gap before I'm drawing it from. So I'm drawing with a little bit of a gap. See how it's not right up next to that shape? It's a little bit bigger than my first heart. So you want to draw each shape a little bit bigger when you trace it. Now, following the line you just drew as best as you can, cut this piece out as well. If you've done it correctly, you should be able to fit your little one inside of the bigger one. And your piece of paper should open up and it should be a little bit larger than that first piece, and you should be able to line it up. To keep your pattern in order, use a paper clip to keep your pattern in the right order. Now take the last piece you just cut, so for me it was purple, and you're gonna grab the next color in your pattern, and you're gonna do the exact same thing again. Every single time you get a new piece of paper, find the crease, hug the crease with the last shape that you cut, and then just like before, when you go to trace it, you want to trace it a little bit larger than the shape you just cut. See how the line is a little bit bigger? And then cut out along that line the best that you can. You should check to make sure you're doing it right by holding each piece up for size like I'm doing, and it helps keep you organized as you work. So don't lose track of your pattern. Take your pieces, put the next one on top, and paper clip it all together. Using a paper clip will help keep your patterns organized. Keep following the same steps. You are going to notice that I'm going to use a paper clip to help keep the shape in place while I trace and cut. And notice how every single time I cut, no matter what, I am holding it up and making sure that I cut it the right size. Paper clip it, trace it, cut it. Paper clip, trace, and cut. Next, you're going to want to start gluing your pieces together. For this shape, you are going to glue from the biggest piece to the smallest piece. So the biggest one goes on the bottom. So my next biggest piece is the purple. And notice how I'm only putting a little bit of glue on the sides, but I'm not going too close to the edge because I don't want the glue to spill out. Hold each piece down for at least 10 seconds to make sure it really sticks on there. Then you're going to go in the same order from largest to smallest. Okay, now it's going to be a little bit different for this part because you're going to go from the smallest piece to the biggest. So I'm going to glue just around the shape and on the corners. Hold it down. Then find the next biggest piece. So again, you're going from the smallest piece to the biggest piece. If you use the paper clip to keep everything organized like I did, it should be really easy to know which one you should be gluing next. And at the end, you'll have two pieces like